Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does to the body. Some of the hardest things that we face in this world is the mental game. Sure, physical activities can be difficult. Whether that's working out, whether that's swinging a sledgehammer, picking rocks, building a house, whatever it might be. Sure, those can be difficult. But the real pain, the real struggle, and the real adversity in this life is the mental game. Now, that doesn't mean you have to fall victim to it or play victim. What it does mean is that all of those difficulties, everything that you have to endure in this world that beats you down mentally, is just setting you up for the next difficult thing that comes your way. If we can learn to take each situation, every difficult thing that comes across our plate, and learn from it, things get better. Now, sometimes that's easier said than done. Obviously, there are never-ending amounts of difficulties that can come our way. But I think today more than ever, the mental anguish, the mental strain that people are dealing with is greater than it's ever been. Whether that be fault of social media, which also plays a role in the lack of interaction between people, the lack of community, the lack of people spending any real quality time with other people continues to become less and less and less. And unfortunately, I don't know if that changes as technology advances and it becomes, it's crazy how the easier it has become for people to communicate, the harder it has become for people to communicate. It's just one of those things that, as a society, a lot of people are becoming socially inept because it's become so easy to communicate that we just don't communicate with anybody. But herein lies the problem when it comes to the difficulties that we endure in this life and the mental pressure that it puts on us and those different pain points. Because when you communicate less and you seclude yourself at the same time, and you become less apt to either reach out for help, to talk to somebody about a problem that you're having, and then it just sits there and festers, and the pressure builds, and the kettle boils, and as more and more things come into play, if you're not taking them head on, and you're not working through them, and you're not talking to people, and you're not expressing yourself, and if you've become so depressed and so removed from human interaction, you're not going to do well with it. Every struggle we go through in this world is just a Lego piece. It's just part of building this thing we call life. As you take the time to dissect and look at each actual individual struggle that you've had as they come, right? If you can learn to be more in tune with yourself and just take an honest, hard look at things that you're struggling with. Say, for example, it's a situation with a coworker, right? There was a little bit of a falling out. Somebody got butt hurt because somebody got a promotion and you wanted that promotion. And you got pissed. And you took it out on the other person simply by not saying anything, by pulling yourself back from this coworker, by letting it fester, and ultimately letting it take hold of you mentally. Now, instead, what if you would have taken the opportunity to be like, okay, where did I fall short? I'm not a victim. I'm not here to play victim. I really thought I was worthy of this promotion. I thought I've done the right things to make it work. Where did I go wrong? What is my part in it? What could I have missed? Tear back the layers of that situation and look at it for what it is. Don't be spiteful. Don't build resentments. And don't allow other people to have that much control over your emotions. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be upset. But you got to be careful with anger. But in this situation, maybe there was a project that you fell just a little bit short on. Maybe there was something your supervisor asked you to do and you only gave it about 80%. Or maybe there was a really big target that was trying to be met and you opted to call in sick a few days in a row because, the boys were going somewhere for the weekend and you didn't feel like working the weekend shift. Maybe it's just that simple. Maybe it was that you were good enough. Your job performance was good enough. Everything you've done leading up to that point that led you to believe that you were a good fit was good enough. But at that moment, maybe there was that one situation that you need to take accountability for, and it cost you. It's okay. Learn from it. Every day is filled with obstacles and some form of adversity, something that we have to learn from. The difficulties of life are what actually make days in the future easier. It's what allows us to be able to talk to our friends about a situation that happened to us, or talk to our kids and teach them all of the dumb stuff we did when we were growing up that we thought we had all the answers to. It doesn't matter the difficulty. Yes, they come on different levels of severity, but at the end of the day, the key is looking at them at face value and learning something from them. Life can be tough. More days than not probably feel like struggles. A lot of times that's because we haven't individually gotten to a point yet in our growth that we're able, willing, and capable of taking a step back each time and realizing that it's really just it's really just not that big a deal. Most of the struggles we go through aren't really that big a deal. I battle with it often. I'm constantly reminded and asked, why I don't get more worked up about situations. Or I'll get told it's okay to be angry or mad. And yes, that happens from time to time. But I also have gotten to a point over a lot of years and a lot of work and a lot of personal development and reflection, self-reflection. And I've learned that the easiest path through any difficult time is to take a step back and just look at the situation for what it is, shrug my shoulders a little bit. Hey, it's going to be okay. Could always be worse. In recovery, they say, if everybody sitting around the table took their bag of garbage and dumped it on the table, most of the time you'd pick your stuff back up, put it in your own bag, and walk away. Because most of the time, the things that are bothering us, that we're struggling with, a lot of times they don't hold a candle to what somebody else is currently going through. We've gotten soft as a society, and personal accountability has kind of gone away a little bit. So I urge you, whether you feel you need to hear this message or not, I still urge you to just do a little better. Work on yourself. Think about this conversation and maybe how you handle situations and how those difficult times are building you up. Just like going to the gym 5 days a week is building your muscles. Same thing. Don't look at it as such a difficult time. Rather than find positivity in those difficult times to see the growth mechanism that can come out of it. Because as long as you're open and receptive and try to look at everything from a little different angle, there's positivity in those struggles, in those difficult times. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy all the time, but it'll be worth it. Because with each encounter comes growth. And if we're not growing, we're dying. So I urge you to continue to grow. Just be a little better today than you were yesterday. Become a little better version of yourself. And take each of the struggles and tribulations that come your way, all of the trials, and find the positive in them. Because it's there. If you're willing to just take a look at the situation for what it is, take the pain from that difficult time, and learn from it and grow from it. Because at the end of the day, ain't one of us have all the answers. And even when we think we do, something's bound to come and remind us we're not that important, we're not that intelligent, and we don't have all the answers. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to have difficult times. What's not okay is to give up on them, become a recluse, and hide from conversation and talking about them. There's always somebody there to talk to you, no matter what that difficult time is. I'm here to talk to every one of you. Part of me ever wanting to do this is the ability to reach and help people in a manner that I don't have access to today. But this gives me access. We can communicate in the comments. People can ask questions. For any of you that are dealing with any form of alcohol or drug addiction, recovery stuff, I'm here for you. I've currently sitting at 15 years today. Well, not today, but today I still take it one day at a time. But if anybody's struggling with that and you feel comfortable, leave something in the comments. I'll address it. I'd be happy to do a video about it, talk through some of the stuff that I've had to go through, because I promise you it hasn't all been good. I've had a lot and I've lost a lot in my life. And my only hope today is that I'm able to give back in some form or fashion. And I think this just might be it. So I hope this finds all of you doing well. I appreciate you all being here. I look forward to reading the comments, and we'll see you tomorrow.